Alright, take a second and look at this and see why you might think I called this a more challenging equation when we set it up. If you saw this guy right here, this might be a little newer to us because we're used to seeing maybe just a single variable there on a missing side, not a 4x plus 1. So let's show how we solve that. The setup of the problem is still exactly the same. I pick a fraction for one triangle and I follow that same setup for the other. So if I follow this path and put 22 on top of 18, I will get my next fraction to here. Oh, also has a decimal in it, so I'm sure none of us like decimals. Alright, so we're going to cross multiply. And what you'll see is you're going to see something like this with the 18. You have to multiply that 18 to both the 4x and the plus 1, like distributive property. And then I'll take 22 times 7.5 and I get 165 over here. So that's what our equation will look like. Okay, so from here, this is a process we are all familiar with. 18 times 4. Don't forget to multiply 18 times 1. Then we subtract 18 from both sides. And we get 147 and divide by 72. We're not going to like it. It's a nasty looking number, but I did it twice and that's what it came out to be. Alright, so let's just step it up one more little notch here and take a look at this second problem. You're going to see that there's a expression in two spots. I'm going to use my similarity statement to figure out what pieces are similar to set up my fractions. So I say Q is equal to T, R is equal to U, and S will be equal to V. Remember, these angles are equal in similar fractions. Only sides are proportion. Okay, so here's what I'm picking. I'm going to go this route. Okay, so I got to follow this same path on my next equation, or fraction, sorry. But we have to be careful. There is no motion here like I just did, but we have to pay attention to our sides. This is a little tricky because the triangle is flipped around a little bit. So I'm going to understand that I went from my first to single dashed angle, which is this piece right here, and then I went over to the second to triple dash side. So this is the movement that I need to follow based on the angles. And that's 8 on top of x plus 4. Okay, so I'm going to set up. You can multiply it in your head, but this is exactly what the process needs to be in your head. We got to make sure we multiply 14 times x and 14 times 4. A lot of us can do that without writing this first step down, but I'm going to go ahead and do it just so you see exactly what I'm doing, so you can see this video over time and time again. So there's what it looks like, and we have double distributive and a variable on both sides. So 14 times x, 14 times 44, 8 times 3x, and 8 times negative 5. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my smallest variable, and all I have left over here is 196. Get rid of that 14x, and what I have left over here is 10x and a negative 40. Isolate the 10x by moving the 40 over. And we get 236. Divide by 10. Another nasty number. But I think I did the math right. So there's how you do with expressions on sides.